Okay, we are back. Goal achievement strategist and business coach Pat Council here on Designing Your Life today. And I'm here with power achiever Maurice Murphy. And Maurice Murphy is a top producing realtor. So we're going to learn a little bit about what it takes to win in real estate. For those of you who are interested in going into the real estate business, Maurice is going to give you a little bit of insight so you can make the best decision that works for you. With that being said, how are you today, Maurice?
I am doing well. Hey, thank you so much for having me here. I greatly appreciate you giving me the platform to come tell my story. Thank you.
Well, I am glad that you're here. He's super busy, right? So we're going to get right to it. He's already given me his time limit. And that's what winners do. They stick to a schedule to make things happen. With that being said, Maurice, let's jump right into this. Tell
Okay.
us a little bit about your business.
So a little bit about my business. Been in business 2.5 years now, real estate. Have seen some pretty good success so far, from what people have told me, and want to continue doing more and continue striving for greatness. I've come to a point where I've just started to realize, okay, I can really do well in this business, and I want to achieve more. So that's kind of where I am in this business, 2.5 years, and I'm just continue learning and continue doing the best I can do by serving my clients, and always trying to put them first in anything that I do for in this business, because that's ultimately what it comes down to: serving the clients and doing right by them at all costs. So
Awesome. You know, uh, he says he's doing pretty good so far. So he's being humble, you guys. And, I want to tell you guys that's pretty cool that he's being humble because most realtors are a little bit cocky. All right. But he is a humble guy. He's a really nice guy. Now, Maurice,
yes.
tell us, why did you decide to go into real estate?
So I know you know a little bit about my background. I was in the military, started out enlisted, ended up becoming a naval officer, and I ended up doing 24 years and a few months in the military. So as time was winding down for me, and I was thinking of what I wanted to do after the military, I really had no idea. I was searching and trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Talked to a bunch of people, and going the government or going the contract or going the corporate route just did not seem the right space for me. I had been doing, I felt like I've been doing that for the longest of time, of being told what to do, being here, being there. And I really did not want to get into that same space again. I wanted to have full autonomy of my life, my business, and what I wanted to achieve, and to have a limitless amount of success. I mean, so I decided, hey, I own a few properties prior to becoming a realtor. And so I just said, hey, let me get my real estate license. And that's what I did. I got my real estate license, and I kind of did it too. So I said, well, hey, if it don't work out as a realtor, I can get the inside scoop on new properties that coming on the market, and
Right.
I would get first
All
dibs. So that was kind of the thought process. I didn't want to be in corporate America by going to a 9 to 5, and I kind of figured, hey, if I'm not doing that well, I can at least get first dibs on properties that I'm available, interested in purchasing. So that was kind of the thought process of getting in real estate.
Okay, so that's a pretty clear but honest answer. And it's okay to kind of want to step out there and be independent because most of us want to feel independent. That's
Yes, they
why
do.
statistics show that most people actually hate their jobs because
Hmm.
they don't like being boxed in.
Yes.
Now, it's obvious Maurice is a winner because guess what? He started out as enlisted in the military, and hey, that wasn't good enough for him. So he had to move on up the ladder to become an
Yes.
officer. And you know what? That's what winners do. They're really never complacent. They keep moving forward. And he did that. So now he's out into the wide world where he is super independent. And it's cool because he had an option. He could go to corporate America, but he decided to do something very different, something that would give him that independence. Maurice, I understand that you have a family,
I do.
right?
I do. Yes.
So tell us. Married?
So, married to my lovely wife, Anetta. We've been married 6.5 years now. And my daughters, Ashlyn, she's 24, and my youngest, 19, which is Layla. So, and the family's hopefully going to continue growing this year sometime. We're hoping and praying that that happens. But that's all in God's hands of what happens there. So, hoping that we'll have our third child sometime this year, or hopefully be ready to have that third child. So, yeah. And then my oldest, she's actually getting her real estate license in the state of Georgia. And my youngest, she is in her junior year of getting her marketing degree, going into her senior year. And then I don't know if I tell you this, but my wife just got accepted to physician assistant school. So she is going to be starting physician assistant school this May here in Jacksonville. So yeah, the family's doing pretty well.
That is so awesome. So for those of you that use the family as an excuse not to succeed, not to go after your dreams, and not to seek that independence, Maurice is proof of what you can do when you put your mind to doing something and making something happen. So he has an amazing family, and they are all making things happen, to include the daughter that's following in daddy's footsteps. So that's pretty
Absolutely.
cool.
And,
Yeah,
and
that's yeah, go ahead.
let me just say something really quick. So I would
Yeah.
just say too, and you look at my wife, who had a 13-year military career, but felt that she was boxed in, felt that that wasn't her passion anymore. So as a family, we decided, hey, she was going to get out and she was going to follow her dreams. So I really think family is important in that aspect, like you mentioned, because family's going to support family. My wife had a dream of becoming a physician assistant, and now that's going to come to fruition because she got out. We went down to one income and we made it work, So that's what family does for each other. They sacrifice for the better good of the entire family. So, yeah.
Wow, I love it. Now that's a winner right there, y'all. So you guys can see again, they made the sacrifice and it's working
Mhm.
out for them. So
Yeah.
no excuses, whatever that dream is. By the way, for those of you that don't know, um, let's see, when was it? January 13th was Make Your Dream Come True Day. So that was on a Thursday. And it's important that you hear what Maurice is saying, because whether it was January 13th or not, or whether it was Make Your Dream Come True Day or not, they actually had some dreams. They worked on it as a family, and now their dreams are coming true. So don't let anything stop you. Don't come up with a bunch of excuses as to why you can't make it. Okay. So you guys have what it takes. So let's get back to Maurice and find out a little bit more about his real estate career. So, all right, so we know why you decided to go into real estate. So now let's just say, all right, you're in the game. Was it difficult? Let's say, was it difficult for you to get started, for you to get up and running and to start to make things happen?
I would say yes and no. So I'm gonna explain that a little bit more. So yes, because it was something I had no idea what I was getting into. I really didn't have, at my first coming in, I didn't have much guidance of, okay, hey, this is what you have to do to be successful. I had no one to mimic. So yeah, it was difficult because I was in uncharted territory. But once I learned, and once I saw what other people were doing and following what their steps were and making it my own, I said, wow, this is getting easier. Like, it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. And then once I stayed consistent with it, that's when everything changed for me. I mean, once you stay consistent with it and you take action, you'll start to see things happen. So I think it's very important for when you're starting something new. Don't give up, keep going, and it will happen. I mean, there was times I was discouraged, hadn't closed a deal in months, and I'm like, man, I don't know if this is going to work out. But once I closed that first deal, it just started to come in like wildfire. So never give up. That's what I would definitely say to your viewers out there. Don't give up.
Awesome. So you guys hear that there was some difficulty when he first started. And I always like it when people share that they had some difficulties, because sometimes we hear people talk about their successes and they make it sound like they just went to sleep and woke up and they became a success. Listen, you don't become a power achiever just because you go to bed and wake up, unless you get paid for sleeping. But other than that, you're going to do some work, right?
Yeah.
So, and there will be some challenges because that's kind of your learning process. And the beautiful part, as Maury said, is that, he stuck with it and he took action and he kept taking action and the floodgates open. That sounds good when the floodgates open. Y'all know that means money's coming in those gates, right?
Yes.
That's what that means. Okay, so that's really exciting. Okay, so all right, so I asked you if it was difficult for you to get started, and you shared a little bit about that. But now let's kind of dig a little deeper. What has been your greatest challenge in building your real estate business?
Um, I would say two things, two things. One, staying consistent. Um, we sometimes, as business entrepreneurs, we always think that um there's this magic pill that's going to make it happen instantaneously. And that was my biggest challenge coming into it, because I assumed hey, this is gonna be easy. I've seen HGTV, I've seen people doing this. I can do this. This is easy. But what I had to learn was, I had to learn that, okay, I have to take the necessary steps to make it happen and still stay consistent. Um, Once I fell out of being consistent, I started to notice things did not happen as well as they did when I was every day doing the same thing over and over again. And I think my second biggest challenge was, once I started to receive success, I wanted more success. Okay, so what's my next step in this business? And so, as I did in the military, I mean, I was enlisted, came up the ranks. Okay, now what's next? What's my next step throughout my career? And that's the same approach I've taken in real estate. Okay, I've done moderately successful, as you say, or pretty good. And I wanted to know, okay, so what's next? So, um, team, starting a team is my next challenge. So I want to continue growing something to where it's a legacy that I can leave to the kids and leave behind, to say, hey, once it's all said and done, I can say, hey, people can say, that guy Maurice Murphy, he was a pretty good realtor. He did some awesome things. So I'm always trying to strive to do more um, in this business and in life too as well. So absolutely.
So your greatest challenge in building your business, and it does cross over into life, is
Mhm.
staying consistent.
Yes.
And the thing about staying consistent, as you said, eventually sometimes you're going to get bored. You're going to want something new. That's
Yeah.
kind of human nature, that we want to always continue to grow. And
Yes.
each time you grow, each time you go to another level, then yeah, you're going to run into some challenges, and that's going to make you not want to stay consistent. You
Mhm.
know, sometimes, when I'm sharing things with some of my friends, I said, or people would ask me, when you are trying something new, or how did you get into this? And was it difficult? I said, you know what? There were some days when I wanted to just crawl underneath the bed and hide from the world. So it is good that you're sharing that kind of your biggest challenge was staying consistent. You just sometimes don't want to do anything. You don't want to get up. You don't want to try anything new because you're wondering what's coming at you today. So thank you for sharing that. Now, here's our next question. And this is for all of you out there who are considering going into real estate, or even trying to figure out if you should be in it, or even if you're already in it and you're kind of a rookie. So, what advice would you give someone who wants to get into the real estate business?
Um, the first advice was is don't take it for granted. Um, Once you get into the business, do not take it for granted that things are going to come easy, or don't have this misconception um, of how it goes. I mean, you was in the business as well, and you understand that.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you first come in, you have to learn the process, steps, and things that's going to get you business. And it takes practice, it takes time,
Right.
and you have to put in that time and practice, because what you always teach me, in order to be an expert, you have to continue learning and always learning stuff. So, and practicing your craft. If you're not practicing your craft, your skills are going to diminish. So I would say, if you want to get into this business, find someone that you can maybe shadow for a little bit. Find someone that you can sit around and have conversation with, and have a real conversation, and not just, you know, because I've noticed that sometimes people look at others influencers in the business and they only tell them the good part of
Right.
the situation. They only tell them how they got success. You know, they don't tell them the actual real journey of what the
mud.
groundwork of what it takes. Yeah, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like they don't tell
Yeah.
them, okay, my first year was trash. I didn't do well. So
Right.
they get to the great part of, oh, I'm doing so many millions. So,
Right.
you know, having those real conversations will kind of enlighten you. Okay, hey, this is what it really takes. It's not going to be some easy cakewalk that you're just going to get in and just start making all this money. So,
Right.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and that's true. So I guess if you were to wrap that up in a nutshell, it would be, it's all about being teachable and trainable. And
Yes.
as Maurice said, you know, you want to find somebody that you can shadow. Sometimes that's not so easy, because if that realtor is in the same city as you, some of them are a little bit reluctant about training you to become their competition. But here's the thing. The solution to that would be that Maurice mentioned he's building a team. So if you're in Jacksonville and you're saying, wait a minute, you know, I have no idea what I'm doing, perhaps he's a good guy to reach out to, because this is a guy who's going to let you shadow him. I'm just putting that out there for him. He might say, oh my goodness, I have all these people shadowing me and it's all Pat's fault. That's right. I take full responsibility for that. So you guys can feel free to talk to him, and we're going to find out how you can reach him in a moment. And I'm glad that he shared that it's not so easy, and it's about knowing the truth about getting into this business. And he's right. I was in real estate. You guys that have been listening to Designing Your Life Today since the beginning, you guys know that I was in real estate, and I shared some of my so-called horror stories with you about that. And it's good that I would say that if you're going to get connected with someone, you want to connect with someone who is kind of right out of the gate telling you, listen, you need to be teachable and trainable. You need to shadow someone because you need to learn. And the thing about that, you know, Maurice has been through it. So as he said, you know, hey, some people don't want to say that their first year was trash. And okay, and you know, and we've all had different experiences, but that teachable and trainable perhaps will minimize some of the trash for you. So Maurice is a guy that because he's being so open and honest with you guys, this is a person you can learn from. Okay, so you want to keep that in mind. With that being said, Maurice, is there anything else you want to share before we find out how we can reach you?
I would add this one last point, a couple points to if you're really interested in getting real estate. I know I mentioned shadowing. I would say, as you mentioned, have an open mind when you come into the business, and just come in ready to work and ready to take action and be on a consistent basis. That's what it really takes to be successful in real estate. Consistency and taking action on a daily basis will make you a winner in this business. And I think that's any business that you get into, just taking action and being consistent. So,
yeah. All right. So you guys have heard that like 4 times, all right? So here's the thing, you know, make sure, and it's good he's saying that more than once, because, all right, did you get it? All right. Or does he need to say it again? You know, because you know, you can say it again to make sure that everybody heard that, because that is the key.
That is the key: consistency and taking action, being an action taker. I've noticed a lot of times people don't want to take action because they're afraid or they fear for something, or they feel as though it has to be perfect before they take that action. And that's never the case. The best tool of learning is going through the process and learning from experience. So taking that action, you learn from it, and you'll know how to do it right the next time. You'll be better for it. So what's the Will Smith saying? Fail forward, fail often, fail forward. So I mean, that's your greatest learning tool is by failing at something, just taking that action and doing it. So, and being consistent with it, you know. So
all right. So you guys find out where your consistency is and make sure you're taking action. Okay. And part of taking action is listening to this podcast right now, because you're learning something. But anyway, okay, that was my shameless plug to give you guys, make you guys continue to listen to the show. So with that being said, Maurice, If someone was interested in being in your team, or they had questions for you, or they just wanted to buy or sell their home, how can they find you?
So you can find me. So my website is thebeardedrealtor.com. You spell that THA beardedrealtor.com. And if you want to call me, my number is 904-578-2272. That's my direct line number. Either one of those two ways, I will definitely get back to you. If you send me a message through the website, or you can send me a text message or give me a call, I'll definitely give you a call back. So.
Okay, and for those of you that are listening to this, and of course, this is audio, and you will get a chance to see a portion of the video, but this is audio. So for those of you that are listening to this, you need to see what he looks like, because when he said the bearded realtor, he's a nice looking guy, but he's got a serious beard going on. Okay, so you guys want to check Maurice out. So he's not just calling himself the with an A, THA, bearded realtor, just because he's got nothing better to do. All right. So you want to check him out. Well-groomed, nice looking fella, but the beard is there and you couldn't miss it if you wanted to. So I love that.
Thank you.
The fact that, he's just out there being, all right. So I'm just going to ask. All right. I wasn't going to ask this, but since you brought up the bearded realtor, all right, you're going to have to tell us about that beard that you got there.
Okay, so how the bearded realtor got started. Okay, so even before I changed it to THA, so once I got out, after shaving for years and years and years, I decided, hey, I'm gonna grow a beard for the first year that I'm out. And I did. And so it was at this event, I was at a networking event, and this lady walks up to me and she's like, hey, I know you from somewhere. I'm like, do you work on the base? Because I had just got out. So I'm thinking maybe you saw me on the base or something. And she was like, no, I haven't seen you on the base. She was like, but you look very familiar. I'm like, maybe you saw me out on social media. I don't know. She was like, it could be social media. She's like, I think it's that beard. And I was like, that's when the light bulb went off. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I think I might be on to something here. Like, she didn't know my name. She didn't know who I was. She just knew my beard. And at the time, it was very smaller than what it is now, but she knew I had a beard. So I started doing a lot of research, and it's a gentleman, I don't know, Iowa, somewhere in the Midwest. He had THA, the bearded realtor. So I was like, you know what? I got to do something different. So that's when I said, let's do THA, the bearded realtor. So, and it stuck with me, and I got shirts, polos, all kinds of merchandise that I buy now with the bearded realtor on there. So
cool.
It's turned into a household brand now. So people really, when they see me in public, hey, you're the bearded realtor. Hey, it's kind of picking itself up. Got its own little thing going on.
That's cool. So just so you guys are clear, it's not THE, it's THA.
Yes.
Bearded realtor. And that epitomizes independence. So, so it's not just about him being in real estate. He has the beard to back it up. Okay.
Yes.
But he's turned it into a marketing tool. And there's something to be said for that kind of authenticity. When you guys go into whatever business, whether it's real estate or any other kind of business, then bring your authenticity. Be the person that you want to be. Okay, you don't have to be who someone else thinks you should be. You need to be who you decide that you want to be. Will everybody like you for it? Probably not. But will the right people like you for it? Absolutely. And your business will thrive. So with that being said, Maurice, you've told us how we can reach you. You can reach him at thebeardedrealtor.com. Or is it, did I say that right?
The Bearded, THA. Yep, thebeardedrealtor.com.
Okay, .com. And he's given you his phone number. Say your phone number one more time, please.
Phone number is 904-578-2272. I'll say it again, 904-578-2272.
Okay, and you guys are going to find this information in the show notes, so you'll be able to just click on a link and go right to where you can find Maurice. And as I said, you want to connect with him. And it doesn't matter if you're in Jacksonville or Florida or not. He can help you no matter where you are. If you're coming to Jacksonville or different parts of Florida, you can certainly contact him. Am I correct on that?
You are
Yeah.
correct.
Okay, because
correct.
okay, he can refer you. And here's the thing, you guys. Last thing as we wrap up, if you say, well, I can find a referral on my own. But one thing that I discovered being in real estate is when I was in real estate, I realized that as a top producing agents know other top producing agents. Okay, so they know other people who are committed to excellence that will take your purchase seriously. And a house, that's a huge purchase. Okay, so that's something you want to take seriously. So you want to connect with someone who can actually connect you to a real professional because they've already done their due diligence for you. So with that being said, I think that is all we have for today. Maurice, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for hanging out with me on Designing Your Life today. And to all of our listeners, I want you to have an amazing day. Remember that you're built by design to win. And no matter what, keep doing life with power.
Thank you.